This conference will now be recorded.
Hi guys, let's start. Others will join might later on. Let me share my screen. Let me know when it's visible, guys. Is it visible?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
Thank you. Guys, you can call me Shiva, and I prefer like you ask the doubts. I told you in the previous session also. I prefer you ask the doubts in the middle only. You can just call me a Shiva, and I didn't understand this or I didn't understand that. Can you repeat it again and everything? Okay. Prefer that rather than directly asking at the end. Okay, it's better I can understand where you went wrong or where you went misunderstood or anything like that. Okay, and moreover, yep, okay, and moreover, I have so much of patience, guys. You can, if you ask me the whole day to repeat it again, I'm ready to repeat it again. Okay, so now I think so. Let's start today. Just to understand, because I have already seen in this in this meeting there are few students, okay, a few students and the freshers are there, okay, and the master's students and everyone are there. That's why I want to just give you an introduction, like how the cloud engineer and the DevOps engineer position came into the existence. Okay, then only you will understand what are your roles and responsibilities. Okay, just if you understand why these designations came into existence, then you will understand how we are working and what are the roles and responsibilities we have to do. Okay, now just we will decide. Just we will see about it today, and the next we will start working on the Linux part. Okay, as I told you previously, if you remember it, I have told you we will start from the Linux. Okay, we have to start from the scratch, guys. We will start from the Linux operating system and the commands and everything. Then only we will go for the next part. Okay, okay. Now let's start like previously. A decade ago, like a 2008 or 2007 to 8, at that time, we will see how the application development life cycle used to be here. Okay, application development life cycle. Now, this is the developer, guys. Okay, And I think so. If I remember, there are developers, backend developer, and QA team also there in the here. I think so. Ravi Kiran was the backend developer, and Shravanti. I can see Shravanti joined it. Yeah, she is the QA team, and another one also is the QA team. I remember. Okay, they will also get related to this. Like they already know. I think so. Sravanti has said like 10 years of experience and everything. They might get related to this. Okay, and sorry, sorry guys. I have a OCD also. Sorry for that. No testing. Okay, QA team. Okay, now this is the server room, guys. Okay, I'm talking about a decade ago. Okay, 2007, more than a decade ago, 2007 or 8 or at that time. Okay, how the application development lifecycle used to happen and why the cloud came into the existence and the position cloud engineer and DevOps engineer came into the existence. Okay, now here if you see here guys, the developer is there and the QA team is there. QA team in the another sorry, if you don't if you already doesn't know, the QA is like quality analyst guys, the people who test the application. Those are the important people who will get the bugs. Okay, now the developer develop the application. Okay, now let us see the development life cycle, how it used to happen at 2007 or 8. Now whenever the project comes into the live guys, okay, there will be a meeting. Just we will see about real time how it happens. Now they used to be have a meeting like, okay, we got a project and these are the requirements we have to deliver it to the client and etc. Okay, if it is a if it a client based company, it used to have a meeting. If it is a project based company, they used to have internal meeting like, okay, this we have to develop, this is the uh, product we have to launch on this time. Okay, already you might have known that there are two different kind of companies guys in the market. There will be a product based company and the client based company. The client based company is like you have, sorry, service based company. It is like you are giving services to other companies. Okay, for suppose I am the HCL, I am working for the, sorry, I'm working for the HMT Steel. Okay, HCL is working for HMT Steel. Okay, they will do their website, they will do their applications, they will do their login issues and everything. Okay, they will create the application, cloud application for the HMT Steel. That is like service based guys. Okay, when it comes to the Amazon, when it comes to the Flipkart, that when it comes to the JP Morgan, okay, when it comes to the so many other things, those are all the product based companies and service based companies also, which means like they will start their own product and they will give the services to other people also. Okay, now let's come back to here, the developer. Okay, developer will get the requirement. Okay, how used to he is like, he used to do at least 1 month of code guys. Okay, he used to do 1 month of coding, like he used to develop the application and he used to write the programs, like whether it is a Java, Python, anything. Okay, he used to wait for 1 month of time. Okay, after 1 month of time, he has to give the, sorry, he has to give the development whatever he has done it to the QA team to test it. Okay, whether it is working or not. Now let us take an example to understand this life cycle or this development. Okay, for suppose I have started, the developer got the requirement to develop an application called as PayPal guys. Okay, just take an example, PayPal. Okay, now PayPal application is creating. Okay, now developer has created an application called PayPal for just not full complete application, just a small part like user login. Okay, user login part has done. Okay, user login part has done, and what you say, it took him like 1 month of time to do the user login part. Now, how the QA team will test it? Okay, they have to give them like a website link. Then only they will go on do the testing. Now, the developer has to enter into the server room. Okay, the developer has to enter into the server room and deploy his application, guys. The word deploy. Okay, let us see here the word deploy. Okay, the word deploy is in the sense you are keeping your application inside the server, guys. Okay, the word deploy is like you are running your application. Okay, you are running your application inside the server. Okay, now as I told you in the previous class, the server room. Okay, to enter into the server room, you have that should be like a network engineers only, guys. Okay, they used to wear the gloves. They used to have some rules like, okay, they used to have some rules like wearing gloves, okay, wearing the particular shoe covers, okay, to enter into the huge server room and deploy the application. Okay, now to enter into the server room, you have to take an appointment, guys. Okay, to enter into the server room, you have to take an appointment. Okay, the developer has to take an appointment and to deploy the application. Now, how used to happen? It is like that server room used to have the appointment meetings. Like, for suppose there used to have like huge, not only one application, right? Okay, not only PayPal is or not only the one application, whole HCL is doing. Okay, HCL or some other company is doing like different number of applications. One of that application is called a PayPal. That's it. Now in that server room, all the application related servers are available, guys. That's why it is very Zorro, that's why it is very private. Now, to enter into that room, you have to have an appointment. Now, you have to ask the network engineers or the management that I want to develop, sorry, I want to deploy my application. It means run my application to into the server where the QA team can test it. Okay. Now, the developer has to wait for that appointment, guys. Like, for suppose the developer has completed on Monday, his appointment is on Saturday. He has to wait until Saturday, guys. Okay, he can't do anything. Okay, he can't do anything. The Monday person, the developer has to wait until Saturday. Okay, now let us think like Saturday comes into the picture and the developer deploys the application into the server, guys. Now, for application deployment, like running the application inside the server into the physical server, guys. I'm talking about physical server. How it used to happen, like the developer used to take his laptop. Okay, remember, guys, I'm using these words. The developer used to take this laptop. Okay, the laptop has the code. Okay, he used to just connect the wires to the server. Okay, he used to have the connection to the server and deploy the application like a transfer, guys. If you remember, we used to have a wire transfer like that. Okay, they used to have the transfer through the USB cable or etc. Okay, now he used to take the laptop and enter into the server and connect the USB cable into the server and transfer the data and run the application. At least to run this application, to transfer the data and run this application will take at least 3 to 4 hours of time, guys. Okay, each and everything is here matter. Okay, 3 to 4 hours of time. Okay, 3 to 4 hours of time to do the deployment, to run the application into the physical server, guys. Now, after 3 to 4 hours of time, now the developer gives the what do you say, link. Okay, the developer gives the application link, web link to the QA team. Okay, the QA team, and the QA team started testing on it, guys. Okay, the QA team started testing on it. Now the QA team take at least, of course, he has done the 1 month of code development for the login time. They have to do the testing, guys. First they have to write their unit test cases, and they have to write their automation test cases and etc. Okay, they will take at least 1 week of time. Okay, they will take at least 1 week of time, whatever the developer has developed in 1 month. Okay, the login issue, like for suppose he has given the Gmail, it is working. If he has given the Microsoft email, it is not working. They have to check on different cases. Okay, they have to check on different cases, and they will take at least 1 week of time, not maybe 1 week or 3 to 4 days or something. Okay, the developer 1 month developed and the QA team at least take 10% of the time, guys. Okay, 10% of the time is at least 5 days or 6 days of the time. Okay, now after develop QA team testing all the test cases, they will make a report, guys. Okay, they will make a report called as QA report. Okay, the bug report. They have to give that bug report to the developers, guys. Okay, they have to give their bug report to the developers. Okay, bug report. Now, in this bug report, they will use all the details, whatever the development they have worked on developers. Okay, they will give all the bugs which are listed over there. Okay, now the developer starts. Okay, the developer starts working on the bug report again, guys. Okay, now in this cycle, okay, if you see here in this cycle, it will be keep on continuing, guys. Okay, the developer will do the development and go to the server room, deploy it, and give the data to the QA team, and they will give the bug report back within the 4 to 5 days of time. Okay, this cycle is to happen like continuously. But the management, guys, okay, now the management started getting like huge loss of this. Okay, the management start getting here huge loss of it, guys. Can anyone tell me why? Like just normal thing. I'm not asking any technical or anything. So in this life cycle, what is the issue? Okay, what was the issue makes the management in the sense company management, guys, I'm talking about the management getting the loss for it. Okay, just anyone can guess it or give me why the in this life cycle, in this cycle, what was the issue and why they are getting the loss.
It's a time taking process.
Exactly. Exactly. The time taking process. And if you see here, guys, whenever the developer are developing the application, the QA team is not having any work. Okay. Why? Because the QA team will be dedicated, guys. Okay. How the application development team is dedicated to one project, the QA team also is dedicated to one project. They can't work on multiple projects. Okay. They are dedicated to one single project. Now, what I'm saying is like whenever the developer is working, the QA team is like sitting idle. Okay, they are waiting for the developer to give the report, the application. Now whenever the QA team is working, okay, they took like at least 5 to 6 days to develop the bug report and check it and write their test cases and everything. And the developer is sitting idle. Okay, they doesn't have any work. They will say, if the management asks the developer, why are you sitting idle, they will say that I have given the application to the QA team and I'm waiting for the bug report to work on more. They will just give the answer. Okay, the time taking process, guys, there are some of the people are sorry, one person is working, one team is working, another team is waiting for the reports. Okay, another team is depending on sorry, one of the team. Okay, that's why I'm saying is like it's like a time taking process. Okay, time taking process, and the management starts looking answers for this, guys, solutions for this. Okay, how we can they how we can give the best performance in this cycle. Okay, how we can give the best performance in this cycle. At that time, the cloud provider starts approaching the MNC companies, guys. Okay, the cloud came into the existence, and the cloud providers start approaching into the the cloud providers start approaching into the MNCs. Okay, they started giving demos about the cloud. Okay, first of all, they doesn't know about the cloud. The MNC companies, they started giving the demos. Okay, this is meant by cloud. Okay, and we can use these kind of supports, and it will be easy for you to take the cloud rather than the taking the physical servers. Okay, the physical machines. Okay, now what are the advantages which I have given by the cloud providers to the management? The first point is like, let me write it down. The first point, sorry, the first point is physical space, guys. Okay, the physical space to keep this server room. I don't know how many I've seen this, but I used to work in that. My first working is that in the server room only. They used to have one complete floor, guys. Okay, I used to work in Bangalore in back 2011. Okay, they used to have one complete floor, guys. Okay, one complete floor in the Bangalore only for server room cost you millions of rupees, guys. Okay, millions of rupees. Okay, the physical space to keep the server room. Okay, the physical space to keep the server room is no needed. Okay, no longer needed. Okay, okay. Now the next part is maintenance, guys. Okay, maintenance is also no longer needed. Okay, why? Because they used to have what do you say? They used to have the network engineers. Okay, as I told you, the server room is handled by the network engineers. Okay, they used to have the network engineers who works around the clock, 24 by 7, guys. Okay, 24 by 7, like 4 members in a shift. 24 by 7 used to work like 3 shifts, 12 members. Okay, there is no need of, sorry, there is no need of staff. Okay, to look over the maintenance. Okay, these are the main things which they said the cloud providers for the first time. Okay, these are the advantages for the taking out the cloud. What are the other advantages? Actually, the management approach to not for the better solution for the physical servers or anything. They approach about the life cycle, the developers or QA engineers or any other team. Okay, of course guys, the developers in a sense, not only the developer who developed the application, everyone will come under this place, guys. Like not only the backend developer, full stack developer, UI team, designing team. Okay, there are so many things, sorry, there are all people are comes under the developers only, guys. Okay, now what I'm saying here it is the management approach the the market, like what are the options about this uh, staff, not about the physical server, but the cloud provider start giving them more options. Okay, if you take our cloud, the physical space is no longer needed, maintenance is no longer needed, staff also no longer needed. And the first advantages they want to listen, the management want to listen is like time consuming. Okay, time consuming, guys. Okay, now what they said that if you take our cloud, the deployment of the, sorry, you can see here the deployment of the application into the server, it took 3 to 4 hours of time. Okay, and moreover, the developer doesn't need to wait for the appointment of server room. Okay, the developer doesn't need to wait for appointment of the server room. For suppose it is a Wednesday, he has completed the development, and he doesn't need to wait until Saturday to deploy it. Okay, the waiting time, the consuming time consuming is doesn't needed for the cloud. Okay, now half of the point, sorry, half of the problem is solved. Now one more thing, the developer, why the developer, just think it in the point of developer point of view. Why the developer is taking 1 month or sorry guys, 1 month of time to develop one login issue. Okay, to develop a login page, why is taking 1 month of time? Okay, why? Because his dependencies are there. Okay, first suppose backend developer is depending on the front end developer who makes the login page, HTML page, where he can give the API or something like that. And the front end developer is waiting on the, depending on the UI team, UI in the sense designing team, guys, where he gives the designing parts, the images, etc., etc. Okay, each persons is are depending on them, guys. Okay, but when cloud comes into the existence, they don't need the dependency. Whatever the work is there, they can just push into the cloud. Okay, they can just push into the cloud. Nobody is to depending on, nobody is to depend on others. Okay, they can say that yes, I have done my work, I have pushed my work into the cloud. That's it. You don't need to depend on me or something like that. Okay, now what happened in the sense, when a cloud comes into the existence, the developer doesn't need 1 month of time, guys, to make the login page. He can make in 15 days. Okay, half of the time is also saved because of the cloud, guys. Okay, 15 days of time is saved, and the developer doesn't need 3 to 4 days to wait for the appointment, and he doesn't need to wait for 3 to 4 hours of time, guys. Okay, now the developer has just pushed the code within fractions of second, guys. Okay, how I'm just making this, sorry, how I'm making the within the just fingertips of my seconds. Okay, like not even less than 10 seconds or 12 seconds, the developer can run his application into the cloud, guys. That happens, that fastness is there. The cloud providers are showing the demo to the management like this. And moreover, after providing the, sorry, after deploying the application into the server, okay, after deploying the application into the server, the QA team is ready to test it. Now, just before I told you, the 1 month of development time took, okay, 1 month of development time took 1 week of time for the QA team. But the 15 days of time took just they will complete within 2 days, guys. Okay, they will complete within 2 days or 3 days. Okay, now what I am saying here it is when they are completing 2 days or 3 days, the management asks the QA team, whenever you see a bug, please don't try to make a total bug report. Just whenever you see the bug, transfer that bug to the developers where they will not sit idle. Or else the management asks the developers to work on the next stage. After login is completed, what is the next one? The next one is like features. Okay. When you enter into the PayPal, when you use the login ID and password, what happens into the next? They will give the features, right? To send money or receive money. Here also the same thing. After login page is completed, they have to work on the features. Okay, the management asks the QA team, requested the QA team that whenever you completed the testing, okay, whenever you see a bug, just report it to them directly, not wait for the bug report or complete report to send it back. In that way, the developers will not sit idle whenever you are working. Okay, this kind of things happens when you use the cloud. Okay, when you use the cloud, this was the cloud providers given the demo to the management guys. Okay, now the management thought like, okay, within one shot the two birds will be there. We can save the maintenance cost, we can save the everything money, and we can save the time consuming. Okay, but the management didn't believe directly at one shot, guys. Okay, they said that, okay, we have thousands of servers. Okay, in my server room there are thousands of servers and hundreds of applications are running over there. Just provide me at least 4 to 5 applications. Okay, just show me as a demo that 4 to 5 applications to myself in my application group. Okay, then I will believe if it is working properly, then I will shift all my hundreds of applications. Okay, then I will shift all my hundreds of applications to the cloud only. Then the cloud provider started giving the presentations and giving the deployments into the cloud, guys. Okay, now, okay, they started giving the deployments and everything into the cloud. Okay, now this 3 to 4 hours doesn't needed, and just the developer used to deploy the code and the QA team used to test it and give the bug report. Okay, this was the best cycle, guys. Okay, now until now this was the happening until 2011 or 2012 at that time. Okay, when the cloud providers started approaching MNC companies and giving the demos and everything. Okay, now after management was happy, developer is happy, QA team is happy, everyone is happy, guys, until 6 months or 8 months. Okay, now after 6 months of after 6 months or 8 months, that server, the cloud, the cloud acting weirdly. Okay, they are facing some issues, or they are facing some latencies or anything like that. Okay, now the management wants to approach the cloud provider. They said that maintenance is free, right? The maintenance is no longer needed. They didn't kept any network engineers. If you see, just try to search in the Google at 2011 10 to 12 of time, there is so much of recession happened to the network engineers when the cloud came into the existence, guys. Okay, if you see that, you can see in the 2010 to 12 news. Okay, now the network engineers jobs are lost. Okay, because of this there is no server room, there is nothing. The network engineers becomes very low. Okay, now the maintenance, the management asked already, so I said that cloud provider is giving the maintenance, you don't need it. Okay, now the cloud provider, the management approach the cloud provider. Okay, okay, we are facing some issues, can you please fix it? Okay, now because of so much of demand of the cloud providers, okay, they said that waiting time of the maintenance is 3 days. Okay, when the waiting time period of maintenance time period is 3 days, okay, to come, sorry, one of the cloud engineer comes to your application and fix the application, 3 days of time. Okay, waiting time period. Of course the cloud provider said that we will give free maintenance, but they didn't say that we will work within 1 hour, or they didn't say that we will work within 3 hours of time. That is called as business, guys. Okay, they said it is free, but they never said that we will just directly come with to your home, sorry, to your office within 1 hour of time. They didn't give any guarantee. Okay, now the cloud providers were so much of business people, they that was understand by the management. Okay, now management started looking again in the market, guys. Okay, now previously I used to have the network engineers. Now let me hire some of the cloud engineers, okay, who knows the networking also and who knows the cloud also, how to handle it, rather than me depending on the application cloud providers. Okay, rather than me depending on the cloud providers for the maintenance and everything. Previously, I used to pay for the network engineers. Let me pay for the cloud engineers. Okay. Then the cloud engineer designation came into the existence, guys. Okay. The cloud engineer came designation came into existence just because of the cloud providers are not providing the customer support properly. Okay. How many of things like if you call the Amazon, you got a wrong parcel. Okay, you got a wrong parcel to your home. Okay, or damaged project to your home. And how many of people you think like immediately if you call them and immediately they will solve the issue? At least they will take time of your time, at least 3 to 4 hours of time. They will say, keep on saying that we are busy with the other people, other customers. Please wait on call. Please hold on call. These kind of things, it's okay because of your product is not even cost more than 2000 or 3000 bucks, but the MNC company started putting the billions of dollars in the cloud, guys. Okay, they can't wait 3 days of sorry, they can't wait for the 3 days to solve the issue. Okay, of course, it is free, but they can't wait for 3 days. In that 3 days, they will lose millions of dollars. That's why they thought, okay, let me hire a cloud engineer where I can solve my issues rather than me waiting for the cloud provider. At that time, the cloud engineer came into the existence, guys. Okay, he used to be there. Okay, okay, it's okay. Okay. Cloud engineer, guys. Okay, cloud engineer came into the existence and the cloud engineer started working on it. Now when the cloud engineer came into the work, the developers work also became very easy, guys. Why? Because they doesn't need to work on the cloud. Okay, already the cloud engineer is there. They will just say that my code is ready, please deploy the application, please run the application into the cloud. Okay, then the developers work also very got decreased and they started effectively working on the development only, not on rather than the deploy application. Okay, now the management is happy. Okay, developer is happy, QA is happy, and cloud engineer is also happy. But again, one more issue came. Okay, the automation process, guys. Okay, now for suppose the cloud engineer is not available. Okay, the developer, just imagine in your company only or in your place, just imagine a situation, okay, scenario. Okay, all the developers are not should not be in a one place, guys. Okay, for suppose it how before used to happen is like still in the cloud also. Okay, still in the cloud also, how it used to happen is like they used to send all the data to the cloud engineer. Okay, they used to send all the data to the cloud engineer. Okay, and the cloud engineer used to deploy the cloud the program into the cloud. Okay, now for suppose one of the developer is in Dubai. Okay, one of the developer is in Singapore. The team, of course, one team in the sense they might not work together in one place only, guys. Okay, one might work in India, one might work in Singapore, one might work in Dubai. Now, but the application has to deploy in the Indian time. Imagine like that. The application has to deploy in the Indian time. Now, the Dubai person has to wake up 3 hours before only, and the Singapore person has to wake up like 8 hours after. Okay, he has to be ready with his code, or he has to be ready already. Be previously transferred the code into the one of your developer who is in the India. Okay, and then only they can do the deployment. Okay, at that point of time, the management is facing few issues, guys. Time, again, time consuming issues. Okay, they are getting delays because of one of the developer will say that, yeah, the person who is in Dubai didn't send the code. Okay, the person who is in Singapore didn't send the code because the time issue is there. Okay, the time issue is there and they are waiting for that. Okay, now the management is taking the automation process, guys. Okay, they doesn't want any person to wait for the manual deployment. It means they doesn't need any person to do the manually. Okay, the work should not do it manually, they should do it automation process. Okay, the word automation is important, guys, here. Okay, the management looking in the market again, are there any person who can do the automation process? Okay, who can do the automation process where my work moves faster and very approachable. At that time they started looking for the DevOps engineer, guys. Okay, the developer plus operations, okay, who knows the developer's knowledge and the operating knowledge. Okay, that is called as a DevOps engineer or called automation engineer, guys. Okay, first the designation was automation only, not the DevOps engineer. The word after all change it. Okay, the first they are looking for the automation engineer, guys, where they make this process completely automation and without any manual interference. Okay, automation engineer. Okay, now what this automation engineer do is like, he will do everything whatever the people who are doing, they will do the automation for sorry, automation for the future purpose. First time, like, they will do the first time automation process. From the next time onwards they doesn't need to do any work. Okay, they will just simply put the code into the storage place. Automatically it will deploy into the server. Okay, we will talk about it more in depth in the next process, but now the automation engineer does the automation work. Now everyone is happy. Again the management like, okay, I hired two more persons, everyone is happy. Developer, the process is running perfectly, there is no interruption or anything. Now after couple of months, the management got seeing the again the same size of the physical server. Yes, if you see, we are talking about 10-15 minutes before, how much money they are spending on the physical servers and everything. The same amount are they're spending now after a couple of years. They started, why we are paying this so much? We started when we shifted to the cloud. The cloud comes into the existence, the billing should be very less. The billing should be very less. And they thought, why we are paying this so much? And they started looking on it, guys. They started looking through the bills, why we are paying so much, uh, as equal to as the physical servers. Then they got to know they are paying more amount of salaries. Okay, they are paying huge amount of salaries, guys. When the 2012, 2014 and 2016, at that point of time, the cloud engineer demand and the DevOps engineer demand, these two persons demand was like huge in the market. Of course now also, but I'm saying it was rather huge, guys. The just the freshers, okay, the freshers who is like just came out from the graduation and everything, those people also having the 5-figure salaries. Okay, 6-figure salaries for them. Okay, because they have the knowledge which is required in the market. Okay, they have the knowledge which is required in the market. That's why they started hiring those persons which high amount of salaries. Okay, which high amount of salaries, guys. Now at that point of time, the management thought that, okay, I have to cut off something else. Okay, I have to cut off something where I can save some money. Okay, where I can save some money and I can see that it's in the profit state. Okay, now they thought of, okay, I can't I can't cut the cost cutting in the developer's position. And moreover, I can't cut the I can't cut the resources in the QA team also. Okay, those are the important people who gives me the application testing, application report, which will go to the billions of users. Okay, on the both sides he can't do the cost cutting, guys. Okay, resource cutting he can't do it in the developer side and the QA team side. He can do now only in the place of the cloud part. Okay, in the middle part. Now we have cloud engineer and we have DevOps engineer. What is the difference in between them? The cloud engineer is doing only the infrastructure. What he is doing is like creating the servers, okay, maintaining the servers and everything. What is the DevOps engineer is doing? He is doing the automation process of the workflow. Okay, now they decided that, and they have given a chance to both of them, like, Okay, one of you learn another project. Sorry, one of you learn another skill. Like they ask the cloud engineers to learn the DevOps skill, or DevOps engineer learns the cloud skill. Okay, they ask the persons to learn each other's skill, and they can and they can keep only one person, guys. Okay, and they can keep only one person who can handle both cloud and DevOps. Okay, at this point of time they started looking for the people who has the knowledge of both cloud and DevOps, guys. That's why you get a name called as cloud plus DevOps engineer, or called as now in the place of cloud providers. That's why until now I didn't use any cloud provider name, guys, like AWS or Azure. Always I use saying like cloud provider, cloud provider. Who are these cloud providers? These are the cloud providers: AWS, Azure, IBM, DigitalOcean, Medium. Okay, these are the cloud providers, guys. Now, if you see here, always in the LinkedIn or always in the jobsearch.com, anywhere, you will see the position with the two together only, guys. You will see that AWS DevOps engineer, or Azure DevOps engineer, or Google DevOps engineer. Okay, they will combine these two at the point of time. They don't want to pay two salaries and huge salaries. They want to keep only one position for one salary. Okay, they started combining together, guys. This is how the cloud engineer and the DevOps engineer come to the existence, and together only became one position. Now also, if you ask me, you can ask me that now there is no the position called as only cloud engineer. Yes, guys, there is a position called cloud engineer only, but that position is like very rare. It is like 95% of the time you will see both cloud plus automation process. If you can see only the cloud process, but maybe sometimes if you see only on the heading, there will be as a cloud engineer, guys. If you go and see inside the roles and responsibilities, they will you can see the automation tools, okay, or automation engineer roles and responsibilities. If you see here, guys, now in my company I'm presently working since 4 years. Okay, in my company, my designation, in if you see in my payroll, or if you see in my contract, they have given me as a designing engineer, guys. Okay, designing architect. Actually, my when I signed my contract, it was designing architect. Why? Because I started working as architect engineer, solution architect engineer. Okay, now they started giving me the designing architect, guys. Okay, it means, it doesn't mean I am not a DevOps engineer. Okay, I am not a AWS engineer. Okay, the designation, always remember, guys, the designation name might be so many in a different cases according to the companies, guys. Okay, don't worry about designation, just see the roles and responsibilities. Okay, see the roles and responsibilities. Okay, then only you will understand, okay, this job is suitable for me or not. Okay, don't go just AWS engineer means it doesn't have DevOps, or else if it is a DevOps, it doesn't have AWS engineer. Okay, just try to see the roles and responsibilities. Okay, is it clear, guys? Like how the cloud engineer, how the DevOps engineer came into the existence, and what are the roles and responsibilities of ours, like taking care of the infrastructure, taking care of the automation process. Okay, each and everything now we will learn in the next coming sessions, from starting from the scratch onwards, how to do the how to create a server from the cloud engineer, as a responsibility of the cloud engineer, how to create a server. That is the starting minimum requirement. Okay, now the highest requirement of the DevOps engineer is to deploy application just with one click. Okay, just if I press enter, from starting onwards, from creating the server, the automation process, in the sense, from creating a server by itself and deploying the application by itself just with one click. Okay, then only you can, just with one click, if you are sending your application to the, if you are deploying your application to the server, then you can call yourself as a DevOps engineer or automation engineer, case, with one click only. Okay, then only you can prove yourself as a DevOps engineer. Okay, this is the minimum and this is the highest. Okay, the minimum is to create the server, that is the minimum requirement, and the maximum requirement from you to expectation is like with one click you will deploy the complete application into the server. Okay, this is the highest and the the minimum and the highest roles and responsibility we'll learn here in the next sessions, guys. Okay, Any doubts on this? Any random doubts? Nothing on related to here or nothing else? Anything on random? Is it clear for everyone?
Happy birthday, Akshita.
Sure.
Yeah, Sridhar, please tell me.
No, I was responding like, we are clear on that.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, guys. Then tomorrow onwards, we will start the Linux operating system. Okay, we will start what is Linux and how we can approach to the Linux and everything. If anyone has already the Linux operating system, it's good. And if you doesn't have it, we can do the installation part. But I suggest to every batch, we will do the installation part. Okay, but I suggest every batch rather than you do the installation and work on the Linux. Okay, just wait for 3 to 4 days. You can do it directly in the cloud. Okay, it's your wish. I don't have any problem on it, but just wait for 3 to 4 days and you can do directly in the cloud. How to create a Linux system in the cloud? Okay, then you will be able to do it in the cloud directly. Okay, we'll do it in a both ways, not an issue. But tomorrow we'll start the Linux, guys, and we will take at least 2 to 3 days, 3 to 4 days for the Linux or based on your questions. Okay, how many doubts you have based on that, we will see about it. And moreover, I told you the Linux commands are very important one, and you have to learn these all commands on the top of your head. Okay, then only you will be successfully complete make it as a Linux, sorry, uh, what do you say, cloud engineer. Okay, successfully you can call it as a cloud engineer. Okay, you have to make all these commands on top of your head, guys. Okay, don't worry, I will just make you more simpler and simpler. You don't need to worry about it. Okay,
Quick question.
yeah, please.
So we don't need to install Linux on a computer, right? We can just use the cloud one,
Yeah,
or do
if
we
you
need?
having, no, no, that's only I'm saying. Starting only, I can't show you directly create a server without explaining. I can show you here to create a server. Okay, where is this part? Yeah. To create a server, these are the 7 requirements you need to work first. Okay, first is operating system, second is configurations, third is SSH, fourth is VPC, and you have to create your own VPC. Everything and subnet, security, volume. These are the 7 requirements to create a server in the cloud. How to create a server in the cloud? These are the 7 requirements. I can't just create a server without explaining these 7. That's why I'm saying is like first we will do the Linux installation for your purpose, or else if anyone, sorry, or else if majority of you wait for the cloud only, then we will first complete these 7 requirements. Then we will create a server in the cloud. Then you can start working on the Linux commands and everything. Okay, guys, Linux is an operating system. Okay, in the cloud you can create a Linux or Windows, you can create anything, Mac OS, any operating system in the cloud. Okay, now to create a cloud machine, you need, these are 7 requirements. Okay, these are the 7 different requirements. Okay, for one VPC, this complete only the fourth point, it will take 2 days of time. That's only I'm saying is, okay, rather than installing the Linux operating system in your laptop. Okay, it's better wait for 3 to 4 days and let's start working on directly on the cloud only. Okay, like that. Is it clear?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. Any more doubts, guys? Okay, let's connect tomorrow and we will start working on Linux operating systems. Okay, and the management will provide you the videos and I will create a Google Drive. Okay, whenever the running notes or any architecture diagrams or anything, I will just upload in that Google Drive, and you will get that data. You will get all have the access about that Google Drive. Okay, the management will provide you everything on that. Okay, the running notes and the diagrams, don't worry about it. Just please concentrate 1 hour that video and ask how many doubts you have. That's it. My request is that only. Don't please wait. Don't waste on the writing notes or anything like that. Just concentrate on video, concentrate on what I'm teaching, and just ask any stupid questions. Okay, and ask in the middle only. Don't wait for the end of the session. I can ask at the end of the session. Please ask in the middle only. Then only I prefer that. Okay, you didn't understand this. I can repeat it again and again. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
guys.
Shiva.
Thank you. Yeah, please, Shaman.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shamanti,
why
please.
Linux is being used? What are the advantages it have? Because I don't have a idea on that one, that operating
Yeah,
system.
yeah, sure. We will talk about it tomorrow, but anyway, we have time tomorrow also, I will say. The first thing is security, Shamanti. Like, if you see here, just as a Linux user, I'm also a Linux user most of the time. Okay, I'm Windows plus Linux. This is my personal one is like Windows, and the office one is like. What I'm saying is like the security. Okay, always if you see in the Windows, they will have their own security, and you have to install the security software like any other antivirus or anything. And moreover, the Windows have the Windows Defender. If you see, the already inbuilt will be there. When it comes to Linux, you doesn't need any security. Okay, why the MNC companies, why most of the people keeping their applications inside the Linux operating system is because of the security. Okay, it is not easy to hack a Linux operating system. That is the first and foremost advantages, rather than using a Windows, Linux. Okay, rather than Windows, we are using Linux. And the second one is like, most of the time, the architecture process view. For suppose, if I want to create an application, okay, if I want to create an application in the architecture view and everything in the Windows, okay, it takes more amount of configurations and the consuming part. For suppose, in the Windows operating system, I want to install a PayPal. Okay, I want to install a PayPal. It will take you at least 2 GB of CPU, RAM, and everything, etc., etc. When it comes to the Linux operating system, it will take less amount of CPU, and the application efficient will be the same. Okay, application efficient. If you are using an iPhone, just I can give you difference also. My Android phone and your iPhone is there. Okay, my Android phone will take, for suppose, just a game. Okay, PUBG game will take in Android phone is 1.3 GB. Okay, in iOS it will take for compulsory more than 1.3 GB, at least 1.4 GB. Why the difference? Okay, just the, of course, the efficient will be the same, the game will be the same, the UI will be the same, everything is same in both Android and iPhone. Okay, just the extension, of course, the Android will be .apk, the iOS will be .sdw. Okay, that is the one of the iOS extension. Okay, the extension will be the difference. Everything is same, but how the memory is taking more. Okay, how the CPU utilization is taking more. Why? Because of the operating system. Okay, why? Because it's an operating system, it is an iOS operating system, it is an Android. Okay, just consuming CPU consuming and the configurations more in the Windows, the Linux use less. That is also second advantage we use it. Okay, and there are so many other advantages in the Linux operating system. That's why most of the developers and most of the companies will try to uh, keep their application inside the Linux operating system only, rather than the Windows.
Okay,
Is it clear?
got it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Thanks,
yeah.
Shiva.
And moreover, I will show you the third point which I want to tell you is about costing also. I will show you in the cloud. Okay, in the cloud, if you want to buy a 8 GB CPU memory and 2 GB something etc. configuration in the for Windows, it costs you 10 times more than the Linux. Buying a Windows operating system in the cloud is 10 times costlier than the Linux operating system. That is also third point, the cost effective. Okay, the cost effective is also third point which took the management, that why we should go for the Windows rather than we can use go for the Linux. Okay. Any more doubts on it?
Yeah, clear, Shiva. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone does? Anyone, guys? Okay. Perfect, guys. Let's connect tomorrow for the Linux operating system. We will have more in depth on it. You can ask anything. Okay. We will see on it tomorrow. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.